this time of year. I've been using this a lot, and I want to show you how to use it in a leadership/coaching role. And I did touch on this in the summit, the very beginning of the summit, but I think this is very powerful with motivating people right now. So learning how to explain this, I get all kinds of utility out of this, and I've been doing it. So this is called the 4 levels of why. And I got it from a real good book called Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet David, who's written a lot of business books out there. He's a good author. And this part was the part of the book that resonated with me the most, because I see from a leadership role, from coaching agents, anytime you're leading others, I see people get very lost along their career path. And where it gets really crazy is when somehow business isn't going well. In real estate, it can be seasonality, it can be rising interest rates, lack of inventory, or just something happens, lose a leader, lose a bunch of agents or something like that. And they start looking at lateral moves. They want to change and go do this, or I'm just going to take a job over here. I'm going to close my brokerage, or I'm going to join this other brokerage, or I'm going to change national brands. And they start doing a lot of these moves that I call lateral moves because they're not in alignment with their ultimate goal. They're just either lateral, in some cases they go backwards. I see that a lot too, where it could have very successful real estate brokerages or teams or just production as a solo agent, but they go take a job in a leadership role somewhere because they can't handle the stress of it. They justify it themselves in a lot of weird ways. And that's what this really refers to. It's the why here at the top. That's their justification while they're often making bad decisions. And all of a sudden, because they've got this goal and they're moving towards their goal, and usually the movement towards a goal is 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And that 3 steps forward, they're great on the 3 steps forward, but when they take 2 steps back because something hits them from the side, that's when the lateral moves start coming. And that could be from their personal life, it can be from professional life, it can be from their habits, it can be from just anything on that life balance wheel, that their spirituality's dropping, their health's dropping. If we're not keeping our life strongly balanced, it can be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily come from work. But in a time when things come from work, you definitely see it there, because then they're changing work because of a problem that comes from work. And then they justify it to themselves in a very strange way. So let me explain to you this 4 levels of why and how it works and how we can use it when we're leading and coaching people. It starts out here down at the bottom with survival. And most people do start off, hey, I need to make some money. I need to make money. I need to earn some income. I got to pay the bills. I just had a baby. I need to provide for the baby. I just got married. I got to provide. I need to earn more income. And most people start there. That's generally it. I'd say everybody. And then at a certain level, once they have enough money, they can actually gravitate to status. And status oftentimes gets incorrectly only thought of as what other people think. And we all like to proudly say, we don't care what other people think. We all do. We all care what other people think. And quite frankly, there's a lot of times when status and what other people think matters. And that's when you're going to become a leader, because people need to follow you when you're a leader. People need to want to be on your real estate team. People want to join your real estate brokerage. People have to want to be hired as your admin. They have to want to be your buyer's agent. They have to want to be the leader of your large brokerage. So status does matter in a logical way, and it even more often than not matters in non-productive ways, because our ego gets in the way and we just care what other people think. And we see that often a lot more than the justifiable reasons. But then once we get a certain level of status, typically we graduate from that level, and then we want more freedom, which is free time. Now we want to work less. We want to make sure that we're spending more time in our hobbies, our other areas on the life balance wheel, your health, your fitness, your spirituality, your hobbies, recreation, things like that, or just slow down, retire, or whatever that is. So that freedom starts, or maybe it's freedom to do another business pursuit. Maybe it's like we're going to open up a side business. But the key here is we must graduate from level 2 before we're really going to make strides into freedom. And that's the buzzword, must graduate. Then we get to purpose. Okay, this is, okay, I've got freedom now. Now, why do I do what I want to do? Once we've got freedom mastered, we then graduate to purpose, which is maybe I want to give back to others. Maybe I want to donate. Maybe I just want to pour into others. I want to coach people up. I want to help more people succeed in real estate. Maybe I want to give back to local charities, things like that. This is where the buzzword "you must graduate" means. Most people try to do all 4 of those at once, and they don't do anything very well, and they never graduate from any of them. And they use, hey, I want to do what I love. I really want to help people up here as my purpose. And it's the reason that I'm stuck down in survival and I can never get to status and freedom, because they're spread too thin. I've seen people be stuck down in survival level 1 that really want to get to status and have people follow them, or people stuck in status and really want to get freedom, both financial freedom, personal freedom, life freedom, that all of a sudden fall back down into survival because they're not making as much money. And then they justify taking an even lower payer job because of their purpose. I'm going to take a job working at this real estate brokerage because it's going to enable me to pour into agents. And that's what I really want to do. And they went from making $180,000, $200,000 in real estate all the way down to a $60,000 salary because of their purpose. You see what I'm saying? So now they're actually losing in status and survival, all because of that purpose at the top. I see it all the time. It becomes a justification. They're actually making the move because they are feeling like they're failing. And we see that all the time in real estate, right? You'll see people that need to make more income in real estate. They're maybe selling 20 houses a year and they go back to selling 10. So they're in survival. And then what they do because of status, they say, I'm just going to, you know what? I'm not succeeding at this real estate game. I was talking a big confident game for years that I'm going to be this big team or I'm going to be a top producer, but I'm only selling 10 to 20 houses a year. How do I live with my own ego? I'm going to start flipping 3 houses a year. I've seen so many males do that. It's unbelievable. And it's just trading active income. That takes a lot of time to flip 3 houses yourself, but you don't know how much I'm making. And so now because of status, what other people think, I can tell people, I have a script. I can say, hey, yeah, I don't really focus on the sales. I just take what comes to me. I'm really more in the construction flipping side of things. You see what I'm saying? It's a better script. Single guys, it gets you chicks. Talking to other agents, it's what makes me feel like my status is okay with other agents. So they actually worry about status when they really should be back down in survival. They won't get vulnerable. You see what I'm saying? It's absolutely nuts. Or I'm on a real estate team and I closed 25 transactions from the team, but 23 of those transactions were leads the team gave me. I want to find my own identity. I want to be recognized for the agent I am. I'm going to leave the team, worry about status and what other people think, lose 85 to 90% of my income. I didn't do the math. And all of a sudden be a solo agent, all because of status, what other people think. You see what I'm saying? When there might be a better way to make that transition slowly over time. I see that a lot. I cannot tell you how many people, when they're in status, they are a leader, they're still selling because they're in survival mode, and they won't let go and get up into freedom because they say they like it. I still like taking listings. I still like that. And it's usually because there's not enough production coming from their office to either be profitable or make them a living. Maybe they could step away and not sell anymore and the company will cover itself, but it doesn't make them the 400,000 that they do in commission income. Not there yet. So they just stay stuck down in status and never move up to freedom. And they just stay there forever. And they start telling themselves, I like it. I like it. I like it. You might like freedom more if you ever knew what freedom felt like. So you just and all of a sudden you build an entire business model around you staying in production just to justify why your business model is what it is. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because you're stuck in status. You're stuck in status. You care what other people think. So you tell them, but I like it. I am okay. That guy who's totally stepped out and runs his own brokerage and doesn't have to sell anymore and has enough coming from the other agents in his brokerage, he's not better than me. I'll be damned if he's better than me. I'm stuck in status. So what do I say is, I like it. It's because I like it. And we see that all over in the coaching world, the leadership world, where we got a lot of egos. We coach and we lead a lot of people with a lot of egos. So they're going to say these types of things. They're going to say that. And if we're going to coach and lead them and get them to change direction and move up and graduate to really hit their ultimate goals, then we're going to have to show them this and explain this to them and have them look at it from this perspective. So when people are talking about those lateral moves, they had a goal at one point. Now we're changing it for all these excuses, for all these reasons. And they forgot they actually moved their own cheese to something else. And now they're not going to graduate to that next level. So this is a very important coaching conversation. It's a very important leadership conversation that we need to have. And I use this to get people to keep them going 3 steps forward and be okay with taking 2 steps back, not feeling the pain. And we see that in the winter months, slow markets, everywhere. So it's very important to keep people on that path because they'll use levels higher than them where they're not even graduate to is the reason, and actually sinks them further down at their existing level. And they never graduate because those are hard arguments to make. Like, it's very hard to sit there and tell someone, yeah, I don't really care if you feel like it's your purpose in life to help other agents. But that's really where I feel because I've seen the pyramid and I've seen what it does. See what I'm saying? So they're going to keep doing what they like, even though their ultimate goal is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And quite frankly, you won't like that soon. soon. I don't care who you are. Michael Jordan got tired of playing basketball, but he started out loving it. It's a job at some point, gang. See what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to do the hard work to get the results you want. So very important that as coaches and leaders, we remind people of that. So anyway, hope this helps. I really like the 4 levels of why. It's been working for us a lot.